Welcome back on CondoCuisine, everybody. Today I'm gonna make the perfect gooey lasagna for you, totally from scratch. I know it is so simple to buy the lasagna pasta and the bechamel sauce in the grocery store, but hey, it is not much more complicated to make it at home. So let's roll! First of all, what I like to do is to make the pasta. For that I only need 3 ingredients: all-purpose flour, egg and salt. Just to make it simple and easy. The process is also not that hard, so let's do it. I start to measure 100 grams or 11 tablespoons of flour in a bowl, followed by 1 large egg and a pinch of salt. As always, I start to mix the ingredients together with a fork, then with my hands. If you feel that your pasta is hard and you cannot shape it to a nice smooth ball, just add a few more drops of water and that's it. Once I was done with that, I put the pasta dough in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes. Meanwhile, I have time to make the ragout. For that I start to cut some onions finely, in this case 2 of it. Get a pot, add 2 tablespoons of olive oil and the chopped onions and start to cook it on medium heat. After 2 or 3 minutes you can throw in 1 pound or 450 grams of ground pork and continue to cook it on medium heat. It is really important to give the pork enough time to make its surface golden brownish, therefore you will get more flavor out of it due to the lightly caramelization. And guys, don't be afraid when the bottom of your pot is browning as well and has some crispy bits stick to it, because that's the point where you can pour a glass of red or white in. And these crispy bits are gonna melt in the mixture and give a flavor boost to it as you stir everything together. Then I grate 1 medium-sized carrot and measure 1.5 cup or 340 grams of passata or canned San Marzano tomatoes. And add to the ragout together with the following: 1 teaspoon of dry thyme, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of dry basil or 6 fresh basil leaves, half teaspoon of dried rosemary, 1 small tablespoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, 1 teaspoon of white sugar, 1 teaspoon of marjoram, and a teeny tiny pinch of ground cloves. Oh yeah, and 2 cloves of finely chopped or grated garlic, of course. Then bring the whole thing to a light simmer and cook it for 50 minutes or until the sauce gets thick, like this. Oh yeah, and don't forget to taste it and feel free to add more spices, sugar, salt or whatever you might like or miss from the ragout. At this point I move on and roll out the pasta in batches, and I try to make them into a round shape as wide as the size of my baking dish. Or if you have a rectangle shaped baking tray, you should shape them into sheets. Just keep in mind that the pasta must be really thin, like this. Now the good thing about the fresh pasta that it does not require any pre-cook time. You can just start to build the lasagna right away. And yeah, you can also cut the pasta into noodles and dry it for 1 day at room temperature, if you made too many of it, like me. Alright, so we're done with the ragout and the pasta, so there is one more thing left to do, is to make the white sauce, aka bechamel. For that what I like to do is to melt 5 tablespoons of butter in a saucepan on low heat. Then I throw in 3 heaped tablespoons of all-purpose flour and whisk together until it gets sticky and thick like this. At this point I like to pour in 1.5 cup or 400 milliliters of warm milk and season it with freshly ground nutmeg, a pinch of salt and some freshly ground black pepper as well. After that you should pay attention to whisk the mixture continuously until it gets thick and smooth like this. All there is left to do is to put everything together layer after layer to create the beast. So get a heat-proof baking pot, a Dutch oven or just a baking tray and start with the pasta. Then here comes the ragout, the pasta again, then the bechamel sauce, the pasta again, and I keep making the layers until the last drop. Then one last thing, top the whole thing with a generous amount of shredded mozzarella or fresh mozzarella cheese and bake it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes. And here you go. And guys, I know this one is not the healthiest thing that you can make for yourself, but I swear it's super tasty, so if you fear the vibe or have a cheat day on your diet, you should definitely try this at home. You won't regret.